Yo, 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 yo. Welcome, welcome. Good to be here. Good to see you. Good to share this moment. A little bit of connection, a little bit of resiliency through the arts, through music, through coming together. Hi, I'm Frederico7. My friends call me Freddy. It's great to be here. And saying hello to our friends here in Austin, Texas. Saying hello to our friends all over the US, a nuestros amigos en México, en Latinoamérica, to our friends, aos nossos amigos no Brasil. Beijos para vocês. Whatever in the globe you may be tuning in, great to see you again. And if you are tuning in for the first time, whether you stay here for 1 minute or for the whole hour, what a great honor to have you. Just keep it in check and building a moment with connection with you. I started to come live when pretty much in the beginning of the year when the pandemic started every week. I am a musician here in Austin, Texas. I play a lot of international music. I was born and raised in Brazil. I lived in Mexico. I lived in Argentina for a little bit. The streets of Austin have been my music school. And over the years with many bands in town, from Gandaia to Macaxeira Funk, Sons of Orpheus, Os Alquimistas, and now I dedicated myself just to my project called Frederico7. And when the pandemic hit, I was doing the live stream thing, and after a while, I started to get bored of just myself and wanted to connect with creatives in town because usually we would be running into each other in the back of the club, talking about how life is going. I would be finding out about my idols from the scene, just hanging out and doing our work. But we are deprived of our work as musicians in the moment. And, a pandemic, something never before, seen by our generation. So it's a whole new ground. So one day at a time, and I decided that I would start to interview my friends. And here we are every week with some great content for you. The first time today to come live on the Austin Music Channel, Channel 16. So if you're watching, if you're a fan of the Austin Music Channel, I just want to say hello to all of you guys and to the great team there. And that every Tuesday at 7 with the 7, that's me. So I'll be here every Tuesday with some fantastic people. That's why they truly are, that's why I call this show what it is. So here you see what we got going on today. My friend Julie Slim, she is a fantastic French jazz singer. She is an immigrant here, has been lived in the U.S. for many years, but has Lebanon as her hearth and her spiritual home. And given all that has happened in Lebanon recently, there's so many things in the world happening, right? All over, Ooh, it's a lot. Ooh, shake it. It's, But it just seemed that it would be perfect moment for us to have a conversation with a talented musician who's going to talk to us about jazz and how it is to be doing French jazz here in the United States, here in Austin. We're going to be talking about Lebanon, some fascinating things about Lebanon. So if you know a lot about that country, stick around to ask her questions. And if you don't know anything about Lebanon, yes, stick around to get to know some fantastic, beautiful things about Lebanese culture, the importance of Lebanese culture for humanity. And then what's happening in Beirut and in Lebanon right now, So not every day you get to talk to someone that can put an eye on the ground and ways that if you're called, like an invitation for anybody that would like to get involved, there is an open invitation. So that's what we got going on with you today. I started with a song you may have heard just a little bit called Brisa de Libertad, the breeze of liberty, breeze of freedom. I recorded that song just, I guess, in April here in my garage, just having some fun, pretending to be a full band. So let me play you some more music and then come back and connect a little bit more with you. Because yes, sin música no hay vida, without music, no life, right? This tune I prepared as an acoustic performance for Ham Day, the Health Alliance of Austin Musicians. I was honored to be invited to play for Ham this year. It will be in my new record sometime next year, if I get around to. This is called Truth is Power. Just acoustically, enjoy. Oh, yo, 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 yeah, yeah. Agora sim. Oh, que bom que você veio. Que bom que você retornou. Oh, truth is power. I liberate myself. Now's the hour. In full bloom display of flower. I shall tire. Never gonna stay away for long. Falling towers. Getting stronger, my core self. Little boy's got nobody else. Stronger, my core self. Little girl, she's got nobody else. Você já pode vir pra casa. Você não tem que ter medo. Não, não, não. Não, não, não. Você não tem que ter medo, não. Truth is power. I liberate myself. Now's the hour. In full bloom display of flower. I shall tire. Never gonna go away for long. Falling power. Getting stronger inside myself. Little boy's got nobody else. Stronger. Little girl, she's got somebody else. Agora sim. Oh, eh, 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 eh. Oh, 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 eh, eh. La ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la la ya. No doubt you drown in joy infused by souls that brought you love and pain. Now walk back to yourself, through the roots of truth to set you free. No doubt you drown in love infused by souls that brought you joy and pain. Walk back to yourself, through the roots of truth to set you free. Truth is power. Ah, liberate yourself. Now's the hour. In full bloom display the flower. I shall tire. Never gonna go away for long. Falling towers. Getting stronger in my core self. Little girl, she's got somebody else. Stronger in my core self. Little boy, he's got nobody else. Oh, 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 eh, 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 eh. Oh, 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 eh, eh, eh. La ya la 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 la. Eba, eba, eba. No doubt you drown in joy infused by soul brought to joy and pain. Now walk back through yourself, through the roots of truth. Now you drown in joy infused by souls that brought you joy and pain. Now walk back through yourself, through the roots of truth to set you free. Truth is power, só a verdade te libertará. Você já pode vir pra casa. Você não tem que ter medo, você já pode vir pra casa. Você não tem que ter medo, não, não, não. Você já pode vir pra casa. Você não tem que ter medo. Beleza, 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 as they say in Brazil. We don't have to be afraid. We are building resiliency. We are working on hope. Hope is not lazy. Hope is an action. Hope is an act of defiance. So yes, let's be defiant, baby. Great to be here, whatever I am. In your house, in your phone, in your screen. I am Frederico7. I'm a musician. I love Austin. I travel around the world, and you're just hearing some of my tunes. I'm a songwriter, really. And if you have any comments, if you're enjoying yourselves, go ahead. And always welcome to put some comments. If you're on YouTube or Facebook, it's great to spend this time with you. What I do in this show, besides share some thoughts and music, is to interview some great people, and that's what we're going to do in just a moment. Yeah. Let's see here. Today. So today we got Julie. In just a minute, I'm gonna bring her in. But as a musician, I also wanted to talk a little bit to you guys today. About what's been going on a little bit with music and City Hall. I have been quite involved in some music advocacy issues happening in our city. And this yesterday, there was Austin, Texas musicians and a few other groups put together a protest in front of City Hall just to let the city officials know that musicians are a vital part of our city. To remind folks, it's kind of funny that we have to remind people, that that they self-appointed this city in 1991, the live music capital of the world, and the musicians and engineers and staff, technical staff, bar staff, and clubs that bring us music are part of the soul of the city, and we need to cherish music, and the music scene in general needs to be cherished. I don't have a specific answer or a political agenda here, guys. I'm just a musician who loves music, and that I owe so much of my learning to the city and to the musicians of this city, right? So just sharing with you guys some of the pictures that I took yesterday while attending the Austin, Texas musicians protest in front of City Hall. Basically, the number one demand is for the city to create a sustainable, continual, something that keeps going, a live music fund that can support, with a lens on equity and with a lens on fairness and transparency. So the very important words are equity and transparency. So totally, this happened yesterday. I was there. Everybody, was super safe. And it was a good time and a good way that, I hadn't seen the music community come together over the years very much. So it was just, it's great to see so many advocacy groups and folks in our city letting their voice heard in smart ways, and keep it going, and cheers for Austin music. Okay, I have a French jazz singer today, so I'm having a little bit of French wine. It's a special occasion, right? Before I welcome our guest today, Julie Slim, I would like to share a little bit of her sound, so we can hear a little bit of music and place her in our landscape of Austin music. So let me share my screen with you guys. I'm going to play some music by Julie in a performance I believe this one was from a performance that she did at one of our venues here in town, Central Market. Only in Austin that we have grocery stores and convenience stores with live music stages, right? So enjoy Julie Slim and Rendezvous. The name of the tune is called Tu es pour moi. This live version. Check it out.
J'ai fait de moi. Car vois-tu, je t'aime et j'aime être avec toi. Et mon cœur qui bat quand je suis près de toi. Car vois-tu, je t'aime et n'aimerai que toi. Le soleil est là, tous ses éclats. Dans tes yeux, je vois que l'amour pour moi. Le soleil est là, tous ses éclats. Dans tes yeux, je vois, tu es pour moi.
Let's welcome Julie Slim here to the studio, y'all.
Mon cœur qui bat.
Hello, Julie.
Hello, Frederico. I love the song that you played right right before this.
Oh,
Can you hear me?
yes, I think, let me see here. There is I think there was a little bit of feedback, but I think it's fixed now. I can hear you
Oh.
perfectly. Can you hear me?
I can hear you perfectly.
We are live, and this is the beauty of being live, right? So for folks that are joining us either on the Austin Music Channel, Channel 16, or if they are joining us in the many ways that they can now, welcome if your first time. And for our friends here on YouTube and Facebook, great to have you guys. Julie, so good to have you once again. And there's so much for us to talk about. I want to hear your story about this song that I just played. But before I do, can I ask you, how are you doing today? Just today?
Today, physically, I'm feeling a little off. I was losing my voice and I was thinking I was getting sick, so I was a little worried. But otherwise, I'm feeling great. Today was one of those days. Tuesdays, I usually sing at Hospice, Christopher House, with two of my really soul sisters. We sing there every Tuesday morning. We call ourselves the Serenity Sisters. We don't sing inside. We sing outside on the patio for the patients that they have. And it just brings me so much joy every time I sing with them to do this service for people.
Important. Oh my gosh, just gave me chills just to, yes, no, it's, being real and using our music and our talents for to service of our community and the cool thing is that just to see that it's not just them who are getting your music, you are also you as an artist, you get fed as well by doing that. That's great.
Yeah. Let me just mention my friends' names, Laura Weber and Marsha Bernstein. Every Tuesday at 9:30 in the morning, we meet at Christopher House and we sing for about an hour and a half to the people that are there.
Hi, Laura. Hi, Marsha. So great that you guys get together. The Serenity Singers, is that correct? Did I catch that right?
Yes. Yeah.
That is terrific. Julie, yes, talk to me a little bit about about the song, the clip that I played just briefly. We are all missing live music so much. We are missing our musicians. So tell me a little bit about that song and just in general your relationship with live music.
Oh, live music makes me feel alive. without an audience, the audience is really who I'm singing for, and to not have them right there reacting and talking to me and all of that is very difficult. That was a great concert at Central Market Westgate, and Tu es pour moi is actually a song that my sister Lena and I, who's watching right now,
Hi.
we
Hi,
wrote that
Lena.
when we were, I believe I was 14 and she was 11. And I had given up on piano because I wanted to be Mozart right away. And I was very impatient with myself. And
Oh my gosh.
and Lena was still taking piano. And we were sitting one afternoon, and I think she had an exercise piece that she was doing. And we started writing words to it. And we came up with that song. Originally, it's a really very still waltz. But my bandmates and I rearranged it to have, so the arrangement you're hearing is totally new. It was originally just a plain waltz.
Oh, it feels lively. It's floating, and no wonder there was a couple there that immediately like, okay, we gotta dance to this. So that is beautiful.
And it's a song about love, and we had no idea what love was at the time. You are mine, tu es pour moi.
But it's interesting because the universality of love, right? That is a beautiful thing. I also remember just being a little kid in Brazil, but having all of these ideas and imaginations of like, and I would make up girlfriends, platonic people that didn't exist.
Yeah, we all have ideas about love, and then they change as we experience
Oh
love.
my gosh, yes, exactly. So I can definitely understand, and I have many years interacting with teenagers and teaching them art and music and so forth. And every once in a while, a 13-year-old would come with the deepest song that I ever heard, or that I heard in a while. And so yes, that the depth of knowledge has no age.
Yeah.
But a beautiful song. There's some comments already. So before we move on, let me acknowledge some folks here. Joshua Thompson. Hi,
Hi,
Josh.
Joshua.
Great to have you, Joshua. And in a little bit, we probably will see a little bit of you. So great to have you. And we had Atlas Mayor, Joshua's band here last week. And for those of you that are joining in from Roku or in the cable TV, I will do a rerun of that episode sometime for you guys. We have Sonali. Sonali, how you doing? Great to have you, Sonali. And she's saying, oh, she has the same lamp as I do. I guess where is this
Popular
lamp
lamp.
here? Yeah, it's gonna come out. Yeah, it's gonna come on focus in a moment. Thanks for being here, Sonali. And Lena, she loves Julie.
Lena is my
Yes.
sister.
Yes. So
Yeah.
it's great to have you, Lena. So good to have you. Yes, thank you. And we got Tina here. Beautiful song. So thank you guys. Keep the comments going. If you want to share this conversation with other people in your social media, please, you're always welcome to do that.
I have to give
Julie,
a shout out to
oh,
Joshua, what he
please.
just mentioned. They just released a beautiful song, Nazook, and you can listen to it on Spotify, iTunes, Bandcamp. It's such a gorgeous song, and it was featured today on Song of the Day on KUTX, which is a public radio station here in Austin. So good job,
Yes,
Joshua.
good job, Joshua. If you guys are around, you can check out the band Atlas Mayor. But before the end of the show, I'll put the website here so that folks can see their website. So I'll make sure to do that in a little bit. Yes, beautiful song by Atlas Mayor. So much great music coming out of Austin, Texas. It's unbelievable. And talking about music, Julie, I want to ask you, how did you fall in love with music? Yeah.
That's a question that's hard to answer, because I think I fell in love with music when I was born. My mother tells me that I was not walking yet, and I would crawl to the record player and point. I wasn't talking or walking, and I would point to a record that I wanted played. And it was a Doris Day record that at the time that I liked. Yeah. So music has been a part of my life since I was a child. Lena and I roomed together when we all lived at home together. And I used to put myself to sleep singing. I never even thought if it might disturb her or prevent her from sleeping or anything. But that's what I did. I would sing myself to sleep every single night. And then later on as adults, she told me, by the way, I really loved hearing you. Your voice would put me to sleep every night. And really when I noticed how much I loved music was when I got laryngitis in college. And for a week, I couldn't speak or sing. And I realized how much I'm singing all the time and how I cannot do without it. I was depressed until I got my voice back. So singing is, I think, how I best communicate, is how I best express myself.
Oh, that is terrific. And what a powerful reminder, especially right now that we are all deprived, well, maybe not all of us, but many of us are deprived of the same degree of touching with others or being together and around folks, or even just traveling for a vacation, and we are deprived of the warmth, and those things really come to the fore. Like, wow, I took certain things for granted. I used to get invited to a party, and then I would be like, oh, I don't want to go, and now it's like, oh, I wish I could, and just hear you talk about when you didn't have your voice, like, wow, that awareness, it's really powerful. There's some comments I'm gonna get to in a moment, but tell us, Julie, about your journey to be here in Austin. I mean, I met you several years ago through our common music friends, and attended I've been to a show. There was a show that I couldn't say hi to you at the Skylark. Love that place. So saying hi to the folks at Skylark, and really enjoyed your musicians. And then we became friends, and now we are even collaborating on an initiative called Austin World Beat Alliance that we'll talk more about it, and I'm sure I'll have you guys back here to talk about the Austin World Beat Alliance. But what's your journey? How did you, how was the journey from growing up, and then your formative years, and then arrive here in Austin? Walk us through that journey a little bit.
Wow. Okay, so first of all, my name sounds American because it's Slim, but it's actually pronounced Sleem.
Sleem.
Yes. And I was actually born in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. My parents were in Pittsburgh when my father was getting his medical residency. So I was there for the first 2 years of my life, hence the Doris Day record.
Wow.
Yeah. And then I went to Lebanon and grew up there. It was beautiful growing up in Lebanon. Our family was very musical. We sang all the time, and we listened to all kinds of music. And then the war happened, the Civil War in 1975.
That's the year I was born. Yeah, I was born in 75.
Yeah, well, I was 15 when the war started. And after graduating high school, I did a year at the American University there, but I really needed to get out.
I see.
And I wanted to study in the US. So my mother thought I was too young to leave, but allowed me to apply to one university where they had connections there from when my father was a resident, so that somebody would be watching over me. So that's how I came to the US, to Pittsburgh, and that was shocking. Pittsburgh at the time was not... Do you know Pittsburgh at all?
You know, I
Have
have
you?
not. That is an area of the U.S. that I have not gone. The Northeast.
Okay.
I know the South and I know the West of the U.S., but I do not know that
Well,
area.
Pittsburgh is a steel city. And when I got there, it was a depressed city. The steel had stopped, and it was a dirty city. The buildings were black. Even the river was black. And I had never in my life seen a black river because in
Wow.
Lebanon, we have 15 rivers in Lebanon, and they all come from their own mountain in Lebanon. It's a beautiful country with greenery, and the American University of Beirut is a gated oasis in the middle of the city, kind of like Central Park is in New York, but it's gated and old build. It's a university that was founded in the 1800s. Um, so I was used to university being something gated, and I get to Pittsburgh, and it's this dirty city. Now it's beautiful. They've cleaned it up and everything. It was rated first, best city to live in for a while. So that's where I went to college. Then I went back to Lebanon during the middle of the Israeli invasion in 1982 between my bachelor's and my master's. I got my
I see.
bachelor's in speech language pathology. Um, and I worked there for a little bit as an audiologist during the invasion. Then I went to Michigan. Then I graduated with a master's in linguistics. Then I went to Lebanon again. Then I taught at the American University. I taught English writing. Then I met Seni there. And I met him actually when I was the first time there, the first year that I was at the university. And because of Seni, I moved back to Pittsburgh, and we lived in Pittsburgh. He was going to school at Carnegie Mellon. So we were in Pittsburgh for 10 years, and then he left his job there with Bell Labs and came to work for IBM in Austin. And we had a choice between going to California and coming to Austin. And when Sunny said we're going to Texas, my memory of Texas was Houston during college. And I didn't have a very good impression of it. So I said, nope, not going to Texas. And he said, well, we'll try it. So we went to California. And honestly, I did not like California at all. I thought it's too big and too many cars and the people I don't know. There's something about and things are expensive for no good reason. No good reason, really. Then I came to visit Austin, and I fell in love with it. It reminded me a little bit of Lebanon. And that's how I came to Austin. Long story. I'm
Oh
sorry.
no, but no, it never, because it's the power of our stories. I definitely believe that that's how we build resiliency. Is
Yeah.
through sharing our stories, and then we start to see how connected we are truly in the people that we know and folks that in our families. We are in a nation of immigrants, and how sometimes it's very easy to lose thread of that. So to hearing you is like, wow, you were born here, and then boom, you are experiencing Lebanon, and under such a magical lens, and to understand that civil war has played a part in your life, and coming here or coming there, and having to reintegrate everything. And I appreciate that. No, no, not at all. And how do you think your story then, like, let's then you get here to Austin, Julie. How did it work to eventually find yourself working with Austin musicians, and eventually identifying the music that you wanted to sing, that you wanted to put out there in the world? How was that once you got here? How was your relationship with the scene, and then how did you find your footing?
Well, that could be a long story. I'll try to make it short. Because after graduating with my master's in linguistics and teaching at several universities, I decided to go to my first love again, which was music and acting.
You're
And
very
so,
courageous.
yeah. So when we lived in Allentown, what I was doing was auditioning in New York City for plays, and I got involved in the theater, very active theater world in Allentown, um, and started a cabaret duet with one of my friends, Rod Gilkison, and we performed in different places. Was involved in the AIDS activism through music, shows that we did to educate the children in schools. And so when I came to Austin as an actress mostly. And I went into the theater world here in Austin and acted in several productions. We arrived in 96 in Austin, and from 96 to 99, I was acting in different productions. And then my voice teacher, Mady Kay, who has been a great mentor and an inspiration and offered me so many opportunities, she actually is the one who introduced me to jazz. And by telling me that I should audition for the Austin Jazz Workshop, which is a group, it's a grant that Michael Mellinger, the head of Austin Jazz Workshop, gets every year to go into the schools and educate 3rd through 5th graders about jazz music, some aspect of jazz music, as well as a composer in jazz. And so that's how I got into jazz. And I remember the first time that I did a season my first season with them was Cole Porter. And Mike said, okay, we're going to have a rehearsal. And I was like, what do you mean a rehearsal? Because, I come from the theater world where we rehearse for 2 to 3 weeks.
Yeah, you're singing Cole Porter.
Right. And I'm singing Cole Porter. And he goes, we're going to have a rehearsal. And I was like, is that the only rehearsal? He's like, yeah. I mean, the show's, it's jazz, baby. It's jazz. You just do it. And I was like, what?
Trial by fire?
Yes. Exactly. So that's how I got into jazz.
Oh, that is a great story. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
There is some folks that are commenting, so I don't want to ignore folks. And if you're just arrived, hello. I'm Frederico7. Here is Julie Slim. And we are talking about her trajectory in music, being a Lebanese-American and making music here in Austin, Texas. Let's see who we got here. Nyla Slim. Oh, okay.
My sister Nyla.
That's your sister. Hi.
My baby sister.
It's great to see you.
His birthday was 2 days ago.
Happy birthday. Libra season.
That's right.
Yes. Oh yeah. Hi, Sonali's great to have you guys. Joshua is sending us some more love. That's great, guys. Appreciate you guys participating. If you are in YouTube or on Facebook, when you put your comments here, I can see. And if you're watching this from cable, welcome. This is the first time that we are here on cable on Austin Music Channel 16. It's such a pleasure to be bringing this to your living room. Every Tuesday, I am interviewing amazing people, creatives, just to explore a little bit of the variety, diversity that we have here in this city. Julie.
Before you say anything, Federico,
I'm not going to say anything.
I appreciate what you're doing. You are amazing on your own, because what you're doing is very much needed right now, in terms of sharing lives of real people, what they're doing and how we're all dealing with the pandemic and this new way of living, and to support musicians from Austin musicians. It's so wonderful for you to do that.
Oh, thank you so very much.
Thank you.
Now, it's as I mentioned in the beginning, it gives me something too. I get the connection with you guys, and why not share, right? Why not share more connection and information and so forth. So no, I thank you. Yes, and we're gonna, if for folks that are here for the first time, every Tuesday at 7. And next Tuesday, I have a person that has a Ryan Romana that does PR for musicians. Is going to talk to us about what musicians are doing in these crazy times, and if people want to get their music out there. So yes, hopefully people can find value. So thank you so much. I you know Julie, I know that you guys did an amazing, important event a few weeks ago, a tribute to Lebanon. I want to talk a little bit about that, but before I get there, I don't know if that's a good question, but here it goes. If at all, how does being a Lebanese-American immigrant, right, like in between places, do you think that it has informed your music, or how does it inform your music? If we come to see you in your band Rendezvous, how do you think your background and your experiences moving back and forward inform your music?
Oh, that's a great question. Having lived in Lebanon, Lebanon is an international country. All kinds of nationalities visit, and many languages are spoken. For sure, 3 languages: English, French, and Arabic. So people are fluent in any Lebanese can speak all these 3 languages, in addition to Armenian, as well as sometimes German. But the 3 main languages are Arabic, French, and English, because we've been conquered by so many people, occupied by so many people. So I see myself as a child of the world, having lived there and having lived here and having visited many countries in the world, and really identified with them even from a short visit. I feel like I've taken what I like from each of the cultures that has touched me, and I've adopted it. So Rendezvous, for example, Rendezvous was really a tribute to my parents. I started it in 2013, right after my father had died.
Oh, I see.
And I used to sing to my father when he was sick. And that was how I discovered the power of music as a healing medium,
Yes.
And singing, the voice, as something very healing and therapeutic. And so after he died, I had always wanted to put a band together with the music that I grew up with, the music that is dear to my heart. So that music is French music, Edith Piaf and others, and pop music, as well as the jazz standards, which my mom loved the jazz standards as well as the French songs, and Arabic music. Mainly, I used to like to listen to Fayrouz on the radio.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know Fayrouz?
Yes, I've other musicians have introduced me to some of that music, and that's something that, being in Austin, I've been introduced to things that maybe I wouldn't if it wasn't such a, we tend to share in the scene, the musicians. I met so many wonderful musicians, but I'm not an expert at all, but I have heard of Ferouz and have heard the music, yes.
She's an icon. So when I chose,
And you can hear it. When you hear the voice, I assumed so.
Yes. So Rendezvous was really, when I chose that name, it was to honor all the influences in my life. And I started out with just the French because I thought that I wanted to be specialized. But as the band grew, I realized that I don't fit in just French. I have many parts of me that are American and Lebanese and Palestinian, because my father was Palestinian, and and French. So, and then I learned Spanish, and I felt like there's a part of me that is Spanish in me as well. Um, do you know Juan Antonio de Los Angeles? He used
Not
to go to the world music jams that Roberto hosted.
hosted. I
Roberto
am
Riggio.
sure that if I see him, I'll probably recognize him.
He's a guitarist and a singer, and he introduced me to a lot of beautiful Spanish songs.
Oh, wonderful. Hi, Juan Antonio. Hello.
So yeah, so I decided that I'm just going to share the music that touches me. That's my connection with music. If it touches me, if the story touches me, I want to share it.
I
And
see.
that's the kind of music that I share.
No,
Does that make sense? I don't
fantastic.
know.
No, it makes complete sense. You couldn't even, if you were trying too hard to make sense, it wouldn't work. This is because you're speaking from the heart. It's great. Letty Garza. Letty's
Hi,
here.
Letty!
Hello, Letty.
Another beautiful singer
Another beautiful singer from Austin, Texas.
and a
We had
songwriter.
Letty here, great songwriter and just a great leader. We had her here on the show a couple of weeks ago, and I'm sure I'll have Letty back. And I want to do a whole Austin World Beat Alliance show.
Yeah,
It'll be a lot of fun. So great to have you, Letty. Yes, the power of music. Yes,
indeed, indeed.
that's fantastic.
The best power.
That's right. Julie, let's talk a little bit of some of your efforts to build community here in town. So I am gonna go right into it. I'm gonna put on the screen this image right here. If it's gonna pop, let's see. Oh, there you go. This was an event on September 6th. So this event has happened. So if you got too excited that this is coming up, you missed it. But don't worry, you will be able to enjoy Julie's streaming, and you'll be able to find ways. We are, if you feel compelled to show some love and support for Lebanon, we'll talk about that in a moment. But tell us a little bit why this event. Some of us may be really well aware of what's happening in Lebanon, others maybe not because there's so many things happening in the world. So talk to us, what was this event all about?
Sure. Before I do, though, the beautiful poster, I would like to give a shout out to Nay Obeid. Nay Obeid is a Lebanese graphic designer who lives in Austin, and she dedicated her time and her talents to make this poster for us pro bono. So thank you, Nay. It's beautiful.
Thank you. It is indeed beautiful. Great work.
This fundraiser is still alive. It's not done yet. You can access it on YouTube, and it's really a collaboration between Joshua Thompson from Atlas Mayor and I. Joshua is a very good friend of mine, and an excellent musician and a great leader. And I spoke with him. I don't remember actually who spoke to who. It's like we had the same idea. We were talking on the phone and we had the same idea together.
Great minds think alike.
Yes, this happened right after the August 4th massive explosion in Beirut that has destroyed beautiful old heritage homes in Beirut, as well as made over 300,000 Lebanese people homeless, killed over 200. Some people are still dying from their injuries. And the government has done nothing and is still not doing anything. So a lot of non-governmental organizations, NGOs, have been working hard in addition to the Red Cross and the food bank to provide food for people, shelter, fix their homes, as well as try to did I say build homes that have been
Yes.
destroyed? Okay.
And
So
I will share an image of one of these organizations. Let's see here.
Beit el-Baraka.
Yeah,
Yes.
so because you guys identified this organization that as a legitimate and worthy organization that is on the ground, and you guys did something about it. Tell us more.
Okay. Beit el-Baraka means house of abundance. They started up actually before the explosion during the economic and political crisis in Lebanon. And they were providing food for people who were hungry because the Lebanese pound had lost its values. People could not buy food anymore. People lost their jobs. And with COVID, it got worse. Then the explosion happened, and they decided to continue their efforts of providing food and providing shelter, but they also have a new initiative of fixing homes that have been destroyed. So they are collecting money for the Beirut explosion initiative in order to build people's homes and provide them with healthy foods. BeitElBaraka.org is the organization. When Joshua and I organized the fundraiser and performed the concert for it, we raised during that concert almost $4,000 that day, and it's still ongoing. Our church, Round Rock Presbyterian Church, has recently donated $2,000 to Beit el-Baraka, and we are still looking for donations because Lebanon is literally trying to survive. Lebanon may not exist anymore in the future if we don't put our heads together and send a lot of money to Beit el-Baraka and other organizations that are there in Lebanon, helping with initiatives to not only reconstruct and feed people, but also find ways to create a new way of governing. Our constitution is not working. We need to replace it. Yes, and so we need to.
It is very sad that, like in many countries, Brazil is the same situation. It is very sad that so many countries. Governments are failing its citizens, and it's sad to know that is the same situation in Lebanon as I am familiar with in Brazil and so forth. And so there is an invitation, of course, if you, you are interested in getting involved, you are interested in finding out more about what local Austin musicians, what Julie here is doing with other folks here in town to raise consciousness, and if you're compelled to participate, to have an open invitation here. If folks go to your website, I believe that's your website on the screen. Is that correct, Julie?
Yes, that's my website.
So hopefully they can get in touch with you. But organizations like Beit el-Barak are doing the right thing, and and it's just great that that you guys went ahead and did the benefit here, and you raised many funds back on September 6th. I just want to commend you, Julie, for doing that. Commend Joshua, all the musicians that participated on that effort. And if you don't mind, Julie, I will just I have a clip. It's a short clip of actually a little bit of that performance of the live streaming that you guys did. So let me go ahead and play for folks so that we can hear a little bit of what happened during the benefit. So here it goes. And you guys are in a beautiful church here. That's
yes,
really
St.
nice
John
setting.
Lutheran Church.
Thank you, St. John Lutheran Church, for showing support. Yes,
yes,
that's amazing.
Sure.
So let me go ahead and just play a short clip for you guys, and then we'll be right back. beautiful.
This was a spontaneous moment, by the way. Atlas Mayor and Rendezvous decided to do this together on the spot.
That is fantastic. I want to thank everybody watching once again. For those folks who are watching us on ATX channel 16, Austin Music Channel, anywhere online, your feed will probably finish pretty soon. Thank you for tuning in to our first show. We're gonna stay right here. If you want to keep watching the interview and you want to catch the last song by Julie, you can check us out on YouTube and Facebook, Frederico7.com, Frederico7 Facebook or YouTube. You guys can continue to watch us on social media. So Julie, it's just overwhelming to see here in our city and all over the world. Seems just this time of crisis and the time where every day is one thing worse than the other that we hear around, and this knowledge that when music, it's such a universal thing that across cultures, across political views, across the spectrum, keeps us bringing us together. And I see that a lot in your trajectory as an artist. I do this fun little game with folks where I show with my guests. I'm gonna do with you, where I show an image, and you are going to tell me the very first thing that comes to your mind when you see this image. So get ready.
Okay.
Here, it's fun. It's fun. And then we're gonna get some comments here. But so here it goes. First image here. Look at that. What comes to your mind when you see that? What's happening here?
That was one of our shows during our residency. We had a monthly residency at Skylark doing a happy hour show. And so this is one of the shows. We did many, and I don't remember the specifics of this particular show, but we had a great time. Skylark was a beautiful place to be, a community building place for sure. We met a lot of people from the area who come to Skylark Bar just to hang out, and that's how we met them. So that was beautiful.
Fantastic.
And that's Sean Ellison on the piano and Shirley Johnson on the accordion, Joe McCreary on the drums, and Phil Spencer on the bass. Those are my dear friends and bandmates.
A shout out to all of them. We are all missing live music so much. And a shout out to the Skylark team. Just a lovely place here. A gem of a place to play music here in the East Austin. All right, more pictures.
Oh yeah, this was in Round Rock at an event, an art event, an art exhibition event, and this was opening night. They had several bands, and we were the last band to perform there. And that's Russell Scanlon on the guitar. He's an amazing guitarist. He just left Austin after decades of living here. He's off to New Mexico now. That was
a
really
great musician. He will be missed for sure. And yes, Russ, if you're watching this, hello, Russ. Great guitar player for sure.
I have to say, I've met so many amazing musicians in my journey here in Austin with Rendezvous. I couldn't have done it without them. I made many friends and colleagues. Beautiful.
As a fellow songwriter and an artist, I echo your sentiment. I would not be here in this town if it was not for the Austin musicians.
Beautiful community.
Oh, yes. Do you even remember this picture? Do you know at all?
Yeah,
do you place
actually, that's a very sad picture because this is in Beirut. And this is close to a building, an old house that my childhood friend, who is also a potter, had her pottery studio. It's gone now.
Oh.
That home is gone because of the explosion. It got destroyed. And it was one of those 200-year-old homes, traditional Lebanese home. It was beautiful. And this was outside, close to it, where it's the outside of an Italian restaurant, Italian cafe there. And I thought it was very pretty. We were on a walk in the city at the time, she and I. It We walked all over the place that day, exploring the streets of Beirut and the graffiti. And I happened upon this, and I thought I would take a picture of it.
Yes, it's just evokes that feeling of wandering and traveling and just a pleasant, harmonious place. And I had a feeling it was in Beirut. And once again, I will put your website here before for we are over for folks to get in touch with you. And because when folks get in touch with you, they also can find out more about how to participate in helping Beirut, in helping Lebanon.
Thank you, Federico.
Of course. So here's
That's
another one.
That's such a great memory. This is a concert that Charles Pruitt, cellist, beautiful cellist, in
Great
Austin.
cellist. Hello, Charles Pruitt.
Yes.
Sometimes he watches the show and he may see it later. So our love and yes, great musician. Hello, Charles.
So Charles invited Joshua Thompson and Angel and I to do a show with him at what is Central Presbyterian Church, where they have music sometimes. And we did a collaborative show where we played all kinds of music. We played some Spanish tunes, and we played Arabic tunes, and we did an improvisational version of a song that I wrote called Time Flies. That was amazing because it was right there on the spot. I mean, you can't rehearse an improvisational tune, right? It just has to happen when it happens. And it was just a beautiful moment. I'll never forget that moment. And many good friends came to see this concert.
Oh, no, it's just one of those pictures that, yeah, you can tell that it was definitely a special time. Let me play this. This one is interesting. I love your shirt there. I love just your smile as well. Where are you playing? Where are you singing?
That is at, what is that place called?
It's okay if you don't remember, but it's a great
South
picture.
Congress. It's on South Congress. It's a coffee. It's a regular place for a regular venue for musicians.
Yeah, there's a few there. There's Joe's, and yeah.
What is it called? Oh, I can't remember the name of it.
Oh, we are all missing all of our venues. Oh my gosh, we are all missing all of our funky places that live music is made in our town. Oh my gosh.
This was part of a series, women songwriters series that G Fire. Do you know G Fire?
No, I don't. Hadn't had the pleasure.
She had organized. She's a musician who organizes events like that. She had organized it at that place. Oh, what is it called? Anyway, so that's where I was playing. And coincidentally, that shirt that you like is made by a Lebanese designer who lives in Egypt.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, I have good taste.
Yeah, you do have good taste. And I bought it from her in Lebanon during one of her exhibitions.
That's beautiful. And now we are going to, and talking about, like all this music and missing music, let's talk about, the last one that I have, images, is really, something that is actually coming up, is actually a way for folks to get to listen to a show. You have an upcoming concert, is that correct? An upcoming live streaming?
Yes, it's part of the Women in Jazz Association series. Yes, it's a series of concerts by women who perform jazz music. It's a beautiful association. I encourage people to donate to that association because it supports women in jazz. The concert is free. It's going to be at Parker Jazz, where we will be, for the first time, the whole band together at Parker Jazz again.
Amazing.
It will be live streamed, but we'll all be together again. And it's funny enough, the last live concert that I did was at Parker Jazz for one of my monthly residency shows there. So I'm very excited about this show.
Oh,
that
I'm
reunites
very
us.
excited to watch you guys this Sunday at 5 p.m. In my first band in town that I called Gandaya back in the 2000s was kind of my music school, and the owners of Parker. Chris, hello Chris. If you're hearing, they used to play with Gandaya, Chris and Brad. So I love the Parker as a place. It's a beautiful place to play music,
It
and
really is. Chris has done an amazing job with it.
yeah, so kudos to Chris, and one just another place for us to be supporting. Everybody's welcome to support the live streams from the Parker Jazz Club, and everybody's invited this Sunday. Anywhere you are in the world, because it's a
That's
streaming
right.
event. Yeah, so this Sunday at 5 p.m., you guys can get yourself cozy and enjoy your music and it's really really great that that we musicians, despite the challenges that are thrown at us, we are finding ways to keep the inspiration going. Julie, I want to thank you so much for being here.
Thank you, Federico.
Pleasure, and I also wanna, I wanna thank your beautiful sisters, Lena. Hello, and let's see here, Sonali. Thank you for hanging out, Sonali, Joshua, and Letty. Everybody, pretty much everyone. Liliana is here. Hi, Liliana.
Hi, Lily.
Yes, she loves the story of your journey. So that's great. That's great. Alina saying that your voice warms her heart. That's beautiful. And Nyla, I believe was your birthday recently. So once again, happy birthday, and happy birthday to all of the Libras in the house or in your houses.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
but Julie, thank you again. This is just a see you later. As time goes by, we'll have you back. But what a pleasure has been to feature your life, to hear your music, and I'm gonna close listening to one performance from you at the Parker, so that people can get a little bit of a taste of what to expect in terms of that beautiful stage and so forth. I believe the song is Li Beirut. Do you want to set us up to hear that tune?
sure. Sure. Li Beirut is actually a Feyrouz song that she sang that was going through the radio stations during the Civil War. It was the beacon of hope for Lebanese people. And now, since the explosion, it's been playing constantly on the radio and everywhere. It's a beautiful song, a dedication to Beirut and a dedication to the resilience of the people of Beirut and how Beirut has been destroyed so many times, but it always comes back, and it always comes back strong. And it's a statement on, I changed some of the words. For me, it's a statement on no more corruption. We need a new government, new way of living, and we need the truth. The truth will free us. We need the truth.
Absolutely, absolutely. I couldn't have said it better, Julie. Kiss to you. Thank you so very much.
Thank you
Yes.
very much.
And it's just a see you later for everybody watching this. Today has been a great conversation with Julie Slim, and looking forward to your music this Sunday at 5:30. And I'll have your website in just a second so that folks can keep getting in touch with you. And let's enjoy some music. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Federico.
You're very, very welcome.
Libero من قلبي سلام لبيروت وقبل للبحر والغيوم لشعبها sent peace to Beirut. I sent my love across the seas to Lebanon, marching as one, our freedom found. Spark of hope for our future. She is white, born from people's spirit. She is white, from sweat and tears, cornbread and fragrant yasmin. Labor of love, slave to the fires, destroying greed from our future. To Beirut, glory from its ashes. To Beirut, for the burning light, above the fight for justice on our streets, facing off corruption with no fear, demanding truth from all, no more lies or compromise. They march as one for our future.
Has been Lee Beirut, Julie Slim, and Rendezvous. They were live at Parker Jazz Club, a beloved music venue here in Austin, Texas. Once again, I'm sending love to the whole live music scene in our city, folks that work in the front of the house, folks that work in the back of the house throughout the city. I came to Austin and I ended up staying here in Austin because of the wonderful individuals that make part of this music scene. So hang in there one day at a time. And together, we can do what's in our locus of control to make our voice heard. Whether that means to register to vote, you still have time. You have time to register to vote. There's no excuse. There is a wealth of information here. It is the misinformation age. Our problem is too much information now. Lack of information is not. Yes. Register to vote. Make yourself heard. It's not the answer to all of our problems, voting, no, but it is part. It's a multi-pronged approach. There's many things we got to do, and one of those many things is to vote. That's just one of the many things. And then hopefully we can have the kind of local officials that we want to, that we can have conversations and build a more sustainable scene for music and for arts and for the community at large, for black citizens that are leaving our city in throngs, for brown citizens, for all citizens. We can just make it better for everybody. So once again, just happy to have people that are doing things to make things better for everybody. That's the kind of person that Julie is. Yes, that's why we had her here today. If you just arrived, you missed the interview with Julie Slim that we just had. And next week, so every Tuesday at 7 p.m. or most Tuesdays at 7, I come live to you here on Facebook, but also on YouTube. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. It helps a lot when you do. Do I even have here information on my YouTube channel? Maybe I do. Yes, but you can visit my website and yes, support. Yes, send a buck or two. That way I can keep on doing this. So there's some information on how to get involved in the bottom of the screen. Next week, chan chara chan chan chan. What's going to happen next week? Besides sharing some music, some cool stuff, I am going to have Ryan Romana. Yes, I'm going to have Ryan Romana here next week. Who is Ryan Romana? Well, he is the man and the face behind Press Junkie PR company. He's also a electronic music producer. We're going to be talking about both things. We're going to be talking about what musicians can do, should be doing, what other musicians, what is he observing the musicians are doing during these times to get their voices out, to get their music out. Are there any best practices in 2020, 2021 in terms of PR that people should be paying attention to? So we have an expert in music PR coming to us to talk about that. Also talk about how he came to love music and do this for a living. If there's anybody interested in pursuing a career in, are you crazy? You want to go into music? We are all crazy. That's why we are in music, because we are hopeful beings, and hope is not lazy. Hope is defiance. We are defiant in our hope. So it's going to be great to have this conversation with Ryan next week, and I hope that other musicians will get a lot out of it. So yes, and then the week after that, I have I believe I have the Tiara Girls in October. So more musicians, more creatives every Tuesday. So I cannot wait to hang out with Ryan Romana next Tuesday. And once again, my love to Julie, and what a great time and interview we had with her here today. My public service announcement: if you like Brazilian culture in Austin, Texas, there is a baby cultural center being born. It's being born. So have you ever wanted to be part of starting and collaborating in a cultural center? If you dig Brazilian culture and you live in Austin, you can do that. You can check out the Cultura Brasil Austin, and you can reach out to them and see how you can, whether you're a teacher, whether you're an artist, or a business person that you want to participate in creating a cultural center for Brazilian culture. Yay, yay, yay. You can get involved. That's the beauty of our city. Oh, that's my face. That's me announcing to you guys. Today was the first day that I was on Austin's cable from 7 to 8 p.m. So right now we are just on YouTube and Facebook right now, but from 7 to 8, I am on channel 16th, and all of these logos here, people can watch it all over the world. So yay, great stuff. I am humbled to be doing this. Lastly, not least, there is a World Beat Alliance. A bunch of Austin world musicians are getting together to build their own table of representation in the music scene. So just so you know, that's coming. I'm probably going to have a conversation with everybody very soon. But on the meantime, kisses to you, beijo a todos em México, abraço a todos por Latinoamérica, no Brasil, queridos, se vocês estão assistindo, abraço, all the friends throughout the United States and here in Austin. If you cannot go asleep and you are in Europe right now, go to bed. Time to go to bed, dude. Do that. See you next week. I'm going to end the show right now with some music for you. I think I'm gonna end the same way that we started today. Why not? I was having fun in my studio, having fun in my garage. So see if you can recognize all of the band members in this new song. I never played this live. So here we go. It's called Brisa de Libertad, a breeze of freedom, a breeze of liberty. Much love. See you guys next Tuesday. Take care.
La medicina